Somebody's making meatloaf.
Let me find another job. It doesn't pay me enough money at all. I want a better one. I'm going to tell you this.
Why did you go with none of the choices I gave you?
Fuck you. Fuck you.
That's why.
Fuck you. Fuck you.
God damn it.
Take this job and shove it. I'm not working for you anymore. Stick it up your ass. Suck.
Is that what played while you were? Is that what you played while you were leaving the job you got fired from?
I wish I did. But no, all I've been doing is having COVID and hating myself.
Okay, so welcome to Wrassleboys,
The premier
Planet
wrestling show where one of the hosts is deathly ill.
Yes.
Yes.
We are now at episode 5 of the Planet Jared arc.
And I'm just starting to realize this is a mistake.
We are joined by Allie, who is still sick.
Yay.
and is fighting through it
I'm
by
dead.
watching this shit.
Maybe
I'm
it would
Mega
be better
Fighter.
if I died.
I'm Mega Fighter, and we of course have Roxanne, who is cooking a meatloaf. So we're gonna fire him.
He's making meatloaf, so motherfucker making meatloaf.
So we're gonna fire him once his meatloaf's done.
It will take me a minute or a couple just to
You know,
step on and grab it.
Me and Mega Fighter were watching this last night because I was bored out of my fucking mind. And Rob joined us, who was setting up notes for his extremely boring next episode of So Let Me Tell You About. And the thing we realized was, this show fucking sucks. And Roxanne decided he wanted to watch it too this morning, even though I told him he really shouldn't. And yes, turns out Vince Russo is writing this. Oh, go figure.
Yeah. I tell you,
that
I
actually makes sense.
The whole thing reeked of Russo for so long. So before we begin, we actually want to make a correction on something. As it turns out, way back in the early days of Wrassleboys.
Yes, back in 1932.
Back in 1932. There was an episode where Stephanie was trying to get into SmackDown. I want to say it was, SmackDown.
She was trying to get into an episode of SmackDown after she got fired for being part of the invasion.
Yes, and she was joined by an old family friend, James Dudley, and we didn't know. And as it turns out, James Dudley is a very real person and actually very important to the history of the WWF.
He is probably one of the I forgot exactly what he did.
He was an arena manager and the first African American arena manager. He managed the arena for Jess McMahon back when it was Capital Wrestling Corporation. Anyway,
he's paramount in the way WWE is today by giving them a chance when no one else did. So he's technically in the Hall of Fame, and we just thought it was some guy. So we're just some assholes.
We're just some assholes, but you know what? That's cool. Oh, here's a nice little quote. Shortly before McMahon's death in 1984, he told his son, Vincent K. McMahon, who had taken control of the promotion, whatever else you do, you take care of James Dudley.
Yes.
And
to be fair, they never said anything about that on the show.
Yeah. In fact, Vince put him back on the payroll after his father's death. So how about that?
Yeah. Anyway, here's some TNA that makes me realize that I hate my life.
But it starts off once again with a disclaimer spoken for us about how there's violence and language, strong language.
This episode's rated 18 plus compared to the other one.
Yes. And the following program has a Jeff Jarrett AMV. Viewer discretion is advised.
Guys, check out my Jeff Jarrett AMV. Falling in my skin.
We start off with his theme playing and him beating up people and him yelling at everyone.
He ain't the Rock.
It still says he ain't the Rock.
No, it's just him hitting people with chairs over his theme song.
And smashing the bowling trophy over Scott Hall. Fuck your bowling trophy. And then we get to the first of a long series of interviews that do not go well for Goldilocks.
So she decides You know what's the best place to interview our NWA World Heavyweight Champion? In a park.
In a park.
In a park. Ken Shamrock. She walks up to Ken Shamrock to ask a question, and then just Ken Shamrock screams at her.
Yes.
You know what's the weird part? Why didn't he notice the cameraman who's been following him in this fucking park?
In front of him.
In front of him.
Like the camera is from like in front of Ken, not coming up behind him or following like after Goldilocks, which would make more sense.
Like, I don't mind the diegetic thing of like we're supposed to be, the cameraman is supposed to be invisible. But literally, this guy's following you. You can assume that there's a segment.
He shoves the cameraman aside at the end of the segment. So he sees this cameraman with his camera and equipment following him in front, walking backwards probably. It just, if you're going to do like we're chasing after a guy to get an interview, have the cameraman be behind.
You think he'd be following Goldilocks like that one game made by Suda51?
You think? Oh, you're talking about Hell Report from Michigan?
Yeah.
Or is that the name?
I think it was literally like the opposite of that. It was like Detroit Report from Hell or something like that.
Ah, man, hold on. You guys talk I think is the next segment. I think we start off with another segment, right?
No, like we do the pyro and then immediately the announcers are just like, oh shit, something's happened in the back. Whoa.
There we go. We jump right into
Right.
where Skinny Jean Scott Hall is beating up Jeff Jarrett, or is fighting with Jeff Jarrett. You're right. It was Michigan Report from Hell.
Oddly wet Scott Hall, who's wearing a Rainbow Express shirt.
We're not sure what the shirt says, but there's just a rainbow on it.
Here's the thing that I've been thinking of when we saw Scott Hall previously. Does he just show up without a shirt and they just give him a shirt?
Maybe?
Like, is that why he had the school shirt on? Does he just show up shirtless and everyone's just like, put on a fucking shirt, Scott? You look like you rolled around in some wax and feathers. And it's like,
because, like, I don't know, Roxanne, could you get a good read on Scott Hall's shirt?
It was a Rainbow Express shirt.
I didn't see it.
Allie is certain that it's a Rainbow Express shirt, but I feel like it could equally be a Reading Rainbow shirt.
Yeah, but they would have a Rainbow Express shirt.
My memory may be bad.
Who would buy a Rainbow Express shirt, Allie?
TNA!
Just TNA. No fans would buy a Rainbow Express shirt.
Yes! They gave him the shirt because no one would fucking buy it.
Alright, sorry, Roxanne. We kind of...
my memory may be bad about this, but I don't think I've ever seen a show start with a backstage brawl.
There's been a couple.
There's been a few. Most likely TNA shows.
So
One of the first things I saw when the show started is the Athena signs again, and I wanted to say I'm pretty sure the same Athena marks came in that have been there last week and probably other weeks.
No, because they have the same signs.
Yeah,
well,
exactly.
It's because they're in the same building. I think this is like a multi-day taping thing because we're still in the Nashville Auditorium, which is where we've been for the last two pay-per-views.
I've never seen someone come to a show with the same exact sign.
Yeah.
So, they do not appreciate the shit that happened with Jeff Jarrett, and he gets kicked out.
Yeah.
And Jeff Jarrett's like screaming in the parking lot, and I started laughing because I noticed that behind Jeff Jarrett's back is literally the park where Cam Shamrock was.
Oh my god, was it really?
Yeah, it was the same fucking park.
Oh man, they should go tell Ken Shamrock to watch out because Jeff Jarrett's getting evicted.
He never figures it out, so it's fine.
I don't think he even. No, he shows up later. I think.
Yeah, Jeff Jarrett's match for the #1 contendership is axed.
Yeah, he no longer is #1 contender, I guess, or is not allowed to.
This was very weird. I think if they were going to forfeit Jarrett's shot, they should have done it when he attacked the NWA Council guys. That would have made more sense than to do it
that'd be logical writing.
And we don't allow that.
We don't fuck with that. So
no, we fuck with the Zoot Suit Daddy Don West.
Zoot Suit Daddy Don West.
Which
Yeah.
is
And apart from the dreads, Ed Ferrara actually dressed more conservatively this week. Almost looked
He had like
normal.
He had like a pinstripe shirt with like a little weird design on it.
yeah.
But his dreads are still atrocious.
Yes.
Then James Mitchell comes out, and I put down the fake quote, "Hey, James Mitchell stole my suit." Don West. They're both wearing red today.
They've been playing like air hockey with the suits. So, I did a little quick update while I was watching this episode, and I just checked Peacock because it's WrestleMania tonight. And here's an update. They actually do have every Raw from 2002. But can you guess, Rocktan, what year does SmackDown stop at? Or what year does SmackDown start at, excuse me?
2010?
2018.
Jesus.
You can't get a SmackDown from before 2018. What the fuck?
I was trying to like put it so high up, but
you need to release all the fucking SmackDowns and Heat.
And Heat.
And Velocity.
We are hashtag release Heat.
Yes. I noticed that someone called Ken Shamrock Shamrick.
He said they said Shamrock, so we put down Ken Shamrock. James Mitchell starts cutting a promo saying like this is an open challenge for anyone to beat Malice for the #1 contendership. And then the power goes out. So show's over.
Jarrett couldn't pay the power guys.
You're gonna pay the power guys. Show's over. We're packing it up. All right, let's move on. MVP of the week goes to Ken
Shamrock, and what else? Oh fuck!
Oh fuck! Oh no!
Oh no!
Wait a minute!
The power's not out. It's Sabu.
It's Sabu.
It's Sabu. He's got an American flag on his head.
Sabu comes out wearing an American flag, like he wears like the usual what's the word? The usual headdress.
It's not a burqa.
Not a burqa.
It's not a hijab because that's what typically women wear.
Yeah, burqa, hijab, and hijab are all like. I don't want to say turban because that's wrong. If anyone knows what the hell Sabu wears on his head before matches, please let us know.
The name of it is like right on the tip of my tongue.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm just trying to find that fucking. I'm going to figure this out. Fucking watch this. A keffiyeh?
A keffiyeh? Isn't a keffiyeh a scarf?
Kinda.
Okay, well,
it's close enough. Fuck it. Okay.
If anyone in the comments, and I know we don't get a lot of comments,
maybe a shemag, or I don't know.
If anyone in the comments can tell us what the hell Sabu wears before his entrances, just please let us know.
Anyway,
we're ignorant white Americans.
It's America.
It's a flag.
I'll admit, anyway. I didn't know this was a fucking ladder match. even though they were hanging a contract above the ring, I thought that was like the main event, but no, that was the first match.
Well, also, it took me a while to realize
forgot
this was
it was
actually
a ladder match, but then I remembered. Oh yeah, they had the ladder out and in the middle of the ring before the match started.
Also, it took me a while to even realize this was a match. I thought this was just a beatdown.
Yeah, I didn't know the match started and they were just fighting. And I gotta say, the Church of the New whatever,
Disciples of the New Church.
The Disciples of the New Church are not great help when it comes to this.
They're not a great stable.
Like, all fucking Devon Storm did for like a minute was just hold a chair in a corner and just hoped that Malice would Irish whip him into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was one of the things I think that was bugging me about this match is they weren't. Because this match is no DQ, essentially. Ladder matches generally are. Well, and they're not really helping them much at all.
They're free to help. Like
they can just jump in and beat down on Ken Shamrock as much as they like
Sabu.
while Malice climbs on Sabu, excuse me.
I know they look similar, but that's not the problem.
Look, they can beat down on Ken Shamrock as much as they like too. He's just out in a park somewhere outside
He's
the
just
arena.
in a park walking his dog. His invisible dog.
His invisible dog that also does ankle locks.
Yeah, Ken Shambark.
Ken Shamrock. They can beat down his Sabu as much as they like while Malice climbs the ladder.
I'm surprised someone hasn't thought to have like a sign to support Ken Shamrock and actually have a shamrock in a picture of a shamrock.
I think
in the
somebody
sign.
did do that. I feel like that's been done at least once, and we might have noticed it in the crowd and forgot about it.
So,
well, I know that I will celebrate his victory with a Ken Shamrock shake.
Yes,
you can still get those.
Yes,
at least at my McDonald's.
So Sabu's back.
Sabu's here.
I've seen his body before, but I've never really got a good look at his back. And
dude,
man,
Sabu's fucked up. I made a joke about it when we were watching of like that one match he had against Terry Funk, where like he did a dive into some barbed wire and like ripped a massive cut into his arm, and like he had to like seal it back shut with some cloth that he had.
Yep.
Just during a match.
Because he was going to bleed to death, and then he finished the match anyway because he's out of his goddamn mind.
That is his goddamn mind, and has probably had to take so many painkillers as a result.
His back is just a wasteland of various scar marks.
They were trying to get over that he just doesn't care what happens to him while he's just clearly suffering in pain.
Oh, yeah.
He gets his nose busted open on the edge of a ladder.
He feels no pain. He is clearly.
I wasn't sure if he
feels no pain. He doesn't care.
Not so much oxys right now.
They were saying his nose might be broken, but I just think he got a cut.
Probably got a cut. Honestly, even if he got a broken nose, he'd still probably do at least 20 moonsaults before the match.
Malice did okay. This match is very hardcore. Like, if you could imagine what a normie's version of a hardcore match is, this is it.
It's a good hardcore.
It's a good solid match because Sabu is insane enough to take all these bumps. You know,
there was supposed to be like a spin kick spot with Malice holding the ladder, but it just looks like Sabu hit the ladder with his butt.
Yeah, exactly. They put down classic Sabu, jumping ass first into a ladder. Oh, there was a point where Sabu gets a table, and then like he's setting up the table, and then Malice like attacks him and throws him into the ladder. But I was thinking, why didn't Malice just chokeslam Sabu through his own table?
Because he needs to do that later.
To me, Sabu rarely ever.
He had a Home Depot. He had a Home Depot ass ladder, by the way.
To me, Sabu looked like he was rarely ever really selling anything, and his face was kind of staying the same expression. He didn't really like grimace or,
that's because he feels empty.
Are you saying that he doesn't have a soul like the rest of the new church and AJ Styles?
And AJ Styles?
Yeah, AJ Styles doesn't have a soul. That's why he kicks out of things.
Okay.
That's a reference to last episode.
But
yeah, there was a belly to belly into a ladder, which I cringed at.
Oh god, yeah. And I think you made the joke about how that's against the regulations on the safety regulations on the ladder.
It was not part of the sticker on the ladder of things that's okay to do with it.
Yeah, it says no belly to bellies.
Yeah, despite
there's a spot where Malice climbs the ladder, and Sabu, instead of stopping him, drop kicks the ladder instead of just like climbing up and pulling him off or something.
Yeah.
That was a cool spot, yeah.
And then it starts to happen. Some fucker named Chad holding up a sign that says that his name is Chad.
And fucking showing us his goddamn nipples all the fucking show.
That was later. Chad would not fucking stop.
This fucker.
Chad was there all night, and I hate him.
He was the worst.
Fuck you, Chad.
Fuck off, Chad.
Sabu spots.
It's like whenever whoever gets the name Shad is almost destined to become this douchebag who's like full of himself and is like always is always like the frat boy lunatic or whatever.
Yeah.
There was this really contrived spot after this match goes on for a decent amount of time, by the way.
This actually, this went long, which
where
actually surprised all
Malice
of us.
takes out Sabu, and Malice climbs the ladder is in the perfect position to like climb it and get the contract, but he gets down, moves the ladder slightly, and climbs up, and now it's just not lined up with the contract anymore, and it was entirely because Sabu's going to tip the ladder over and send him spilling through a table that was set up outside.
Yeah, there's always that.
Come on, man.
Yeah, sometimes that's kind of a problem with like a ladder match is like if the ladder isn't positioned just right, then you have to do this whole embarrassing thing of like,
he literally moved the ladder because he knew, shit, I can't make it to the table. Hold on, I gotta wiggle the ladder like 3 feet to the left.
It breaks the immersion a little, you know?
Yeah, they do this, they do it they have to move it because of a spot.
So, now that Malice has been put through a table, Sabu grabs the ladder and climbs up it with James Mitchell and crew watching.
Yeah.
They just
don't do anything to stop him reaching the contract. They don't
do anything to stop him, and when he grabs the contract and pulls it down, they are pissed. They are pissed.
He wins the match, and then immediately they go into beating him down. It's like, why didn't you stop him?
You know what? You could have given Malice a title shot if you stopped Sabu from climbing the ladder. Tempest and Slash, you're two fucking idiots.
This is why you're not allowed back in the Church of Satan.
Yeah. Satan doesn't like contrived spots like that.
Satan doesn't like idiots.
Malice gets up from being put through a table and chokeslams, and that weird thing where like it gets really loud for a chokeslam happens again.
Just fucking why is he mic'd really loud for explosions to happen when he chokeslams? This is the Braun Strowman train shit just to like 19 years ahead of time.
They beat up Sabu, they take him outside, and they set up a table. And they mention that Sabu's getting this table from IKEA. Or no, okay, I made that up.
Oh yeah, no, it was like he's like this is Sabu's table or something, and we just put down like Sabu, avid collectors of tables. Oh yeah, they were gonna give him the table.
Yes, they chokeslam him through the table onto the concrete,
which is not a fun spot no matter what.
And then the disciples of the new church surround him and start licking their hands of his blood, and Megafire made a joke that made me laugh.
Yeah, I said, hey, look, we got free hep.
Oh,
which, that might be unfair to Sabu. I don't think Sabu actually has hepatitis. It's just them being all excited about getting to lick his blood and shit.
Yeah,
hep.
Licking blood is not a good idea.
It's not that it's fucked up or like offensive. It's just unsanitary.
It's just unsanitary. Yeah. It's like that Heroes of Wrestling match where Abdullah the Butcher started drinking his own blood.
So
midway.
It's been 25 minutes since Jeff Jarrett's been kicked out, and he's still yelling at Bill Behrens and crew.
He's still yelling at everybody.
And now it's raining.
How hard is it to escort Jeff Jarrett from a building?
You could call the police to help you.
Jeff Jarrett wants to speak to your manager.
You could go to Ken Shamrock. He's in the park still.
Ken Shamrock is still in that park. He's at the water fountain now. He's getting a drink.
Yeah.
There might be like one of those little obstacle course things that you can walk through, and there's like a slide. He might be going down that.
Maybe going down a slide. He could help you get Jeff Jarrett out of your fucking business.
Yeah, you can just get the most dangerous man to just come and, I don't know, break his fucking ankle.
Yeah.
Out comes baby AJ Styles, and he's got a microphone.
He's gonna cut a promo, except Jerry Lynn says no promo for you, AJ.
It was literally just like AJ going, I think we, and then Jerry Lynn going, shut the hell up.
And Jerry Lynn proceeds to cut a promo that still does not really justify his heel turn.
Oh my god, yes.
Jerry Lynn doesn't owe AJ Styles shit, and it's trivia night. How long has he been wrestling? AJ Styles says he's been wrestling 4 years, and then Jerry Lynn's just like, yeah,
Which is
pad
true.
your resume, and it's just like, he went to the power plant.
I actually went and bothered to actually check. So from when he started to 2002, yeah, 4 years exactly.
4 years, yeah.
And Jerry Lynn talks about how he wrestled more, and he doesn't owe
wrestling for
AJ
14
Styles
years.
shit. And then I was just like, yes, Jerry Lynn, I know you're 35.
And it's like,
And then he's just like, what crawled up your ass to make you think that you're Captain Shit and that you're the best? And I just sort of muttered, I'm X Division and Tag Team Champ.
with you,
With you.
Jerry, this is your fault that I have these 2 belts. I could have been AJ 1 belt over here, but you wanted a tag title shot.
You wanted a
with
tag
me.
title, and you could probably just challenge me for the X Division title. I don't care.
Put
And
down.
then he's just like, you can't call the shots because you weren't broke like me. You weren't suffering like me. You weren't eating peanut butter sandwiches because you can't have anything to eat.
And you know what? And I feel like it is a statement. You know what, Martin? We haven't checked you. How do you feel about peanut butter sandwiches?
I don't like them like peanut butter by itself in a sandwich, but I do like peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
Okay, well that's fair.
I did get sick of them for a while.
Well, look at this stuck up asshole.
He can afford jelly.
He can afford preserves. you get your snobby ass out of my show. And take your meatloaf with you.
Take your meatloaf with me. We don't want any. Yeah, you get too groovy.
So, I don't know. I like peanut butter sandwiches. You know what?
do
You know
too.
what my poverty food was when we couldn't afford anything? I would make toast. It'd be toast with maple syrup, a pat of butter, and like cinnamon, and that was like what I would eat.
Ooh.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
wasn't good, but
Look,
It did-
look,
it
there
did
are
the
worse
job.
things you can there are worse things you can have when broke than peanut butter sandwiches. Talk to Paul White. He had to eat a toothpaste sandwich once.
yeah, and
Ew.
talk to Jack White, who had 16 saltine crackers,
And then he licked his fingers.
and then he licked his fingers. Fucking stupid.
God damn it. What were the sandwiches that Kendrick Lamar had? Weren't they
Syrup
like
sandwiches.
Syrup sandwiches.
I remember syrup sandwiches and crime allowances or something like that.
Yeah.
Uh,
I actually got back into making peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, but I've added one other thing, honey.
honey's good.
If you mix it with the peanut butter, that sounds not bad. Wow, we've gotten off track. So yeah.
Why is he talking about how AJ Styles is just up his own ass when you walked out of an X Division match last week because you didn't feel like beating Low-Key?
Fuck you, I was Mr. JL before you were Air Styles.
And he complains about. He's complaining about. Oh, you're only like the whole thing is like. Oh, you're only 4 years. I've been here longer. You haven't paid your dues, and I'm like, he's obviously a prodigy who's really.
Like I said,
super
X
talented.
Division and Tag Team Champ on the first week.
With unlike the first. Yeah,
Or
it was,
first-
well,
Well,
That
second week.
First
happens.
month.
That happens sometimes. Someone can come in and just be really, really good at wrestling.
I don't think AJ has the psychology aspect down entirely around here, but he is very athletic,
he's very athletic, very talented. He gets it done in the ring.
and he doesn't injure people, which is good.
Doesn't injure people. Safe, always good. AJ just kind of responds
from
by
the
Well,
like,
people that
Jerry,
don't know-
Jerry says that, like, if you know that to respect me, we can make up, even though I beat you up last week. And AJ's like, "Fuck you," and just punches him.
Yeah. He just starts attacking him, and then
I thought it was like a bit of emotional whiplash because AJ went from acting really embarrassed most of the during the promo, and then he just immediately just get pissed off and started hitting him.
His charisma wasn't there yet.
So Goldilocks, after being berated by Ken Shamrock. Wait,
hold on. Before we talk about that, I just want to note that AJ Styles apparently won the promo because they play his music. Like he does the attack, and then like Jerry Lynn walk away, and they just born and raised in the USA. It's like, why is this music playing?
I guess he won that one. I don't know.
All right, now we can talk about Goldilocks. Now going what? 0 for 2 now?
Yeah, Goldilocks, after interviewing Ken Shamrock in a park, decides, you know what would be the best place to interview Jasmine St. Clair? She's in the bathroom.
I'm in the bathroom.
Yes. So she just goes up to her in the bathroom with a microphone. And then Francine jumps the both of them. And then Francine jumps Jasmine like immediately.
I don't think like Goldilocks even got a question, and she immediately jumps Jasmine St. Clair and starts beating her up, and then immediately takes her like the showers,
drags her to the shower, and turns on the water. And I think they wanted to imply that she's being scalded, but as someone who had dealt with like public showering before, that water won't be hot for a good minute.
So she's just covered in cold water,
and she's like, water.
I like to think of it as Francine proceeding to David Flair Jasmine.
Yes, I was thinking the same thing.
Well, like, here's the thing. When I have public shower experience, it was because I took a shower at the Planet Fitness. And yeah, that fucking hot water didn't get there for a while.
It takes some time.
Unless someone just took a shower. No.
I was thinking the same thing. I had flashbacks to Undertaker and David Flair as well.
Out comes our boy K-Crush. I had to go back to get a screenshot or two. And that meant I played the show at twice the speed. And I gotta say, watching K-Crush dance at 2 times speed is hilarious. It gives me real, like, California Big Hunks vibes. He's like pelvic thrusting and kicking his feet at twice the speed, and it looks absolutely ridiculous. So
I missed most of this promo, sadly.
I didn't.
I feel like Rockin'. Okay, you didn't. Excellent.
I remember it.
Cool.
Our truth, fucking whatever. Ron Killings talks about how he looks, acts, and dances like a star. So why the fuck is he here?
Smells like a star.
Why the fuck does he work for TNA? Why am I here?
At one point, he actually.
Why did I wrestle a NASCAR driver?
Why did WWE /F let me go?
Yeah, why did they fire him? I kind of agree. Like. So this is mostly just. I think this leads into like his new gimmick is.
I thought he was almost going to claim racism for a minute, but then he said,
kind of
no. Like he swerved us by saying that like it's like, is it because of how I look, or is it because of this? And then he's like, no, it's because they fired me because they were scared of what I could become.
Yeah,
and it was like, okay.
Huh. And I thought this was leading into like the new gimmick of like wrestling is racist.
And why am I here? And then Norman Smiley comes out.
So yeah.
What is with Norman Smiley and his frequent selection of weird trunk boot colors?
I think he just wants to show off his collection. And fucking Chad taking off his shirt.
His goddamn nipples like a jackass.
We were watching with Rob around now, and Norman Smiley does the whole "I'm gonna fuck him" thing. I'm going to fuck him.
I always thought that was weird.
He hits R-Truth a couple times with his butt. I noticed that he wasn't wearing knee pads, when R-Truth decided to finish the match with like a suplex into a knee buster. And I was just like, that's what happens when you don't wear knee pads, Norman.
That's why you need
That's
knee
what
pads.
that was, because it looked like just a weird, awkward front suplex.
Yeah.
It was like a suplex into a knee buster, I think, but it was like, that's what happens when you don't wear knee pads, Norman. Go to the Big Five. go to a
Get
sporting
some
goods
knee
shop,
pads.
get some fucking knee pads. Just get,
I know. Kate
if you
Crush
don't
doesn't
wanna-
seem to wear knee pads.
if you don't want to like raise any concerns, just say that you're an avid cyclist. They'll give you some knee pads.
I assume saying I'm a wrestler gets you knee pads.
Now for uncomfortable time, where R-Truth takes off his weird belt with like a bunch of little like handcuffs on them
Yeah.
Or rings.
or rings, and
He's got like a studded belt of some sort.
He starts whipping Norman Smiley with the belt, and then wraps it around his neck and chokes him over the rope.
Oh, yeah.
It's really uncomfortable, and I'm
It's
very
like-
confused about this gimmick now.
And
So
then
maybe
a chubby woman in her 40s runs out.
they claim it's Norman Smiley's wife. I don't believe that.
Yeah. I found that a little hard to believe, too.
If that is his actual wife, I will retract my statement on that. But if it isn't, then
I was commenting that I think Ron Killings is underrated, and then it cuts to him strangling Norman Smiley, and I was just like,
not sure about that one, are we?
This show's confusing.
That was weird.
It is
So
weird.
Goldilocks decides, all right, the last two interviews were a bust, but maybe I could get something out of Puppet. So
Fine.
she walks up to a garbage bin, which was one of the garbage bins that Scott Hall threw at Jeff Jarrett earlier, by the way.
Ah, I see.
And there's this weird sound coming from the garbage can, and Puppet's inside of it. Masturbating.
Yeah.
Jerking off.
Or at least shaking it. We don't know, but it's
And
at least
she
implied.
asks, like, what are you doing? And it's like, what do you think I'm doing? Spanking my monkey? Beating
like
off? No, I'm just meditating for my match coming up because I have PMS. Pissed midget syndrome. And then he starts beating off again. I just...
Yeah, it's at least implied that he is, but, you know.
I thought I'd give
Maybe
it.
What
I
would
thought
he
I'd
be
give you
doing in the garbage can, Rocktan? Tell me right fucking now. What are the alternatives?
He's just shaking it to...
What are
For
the
no
alternatives?
repair.
Why is he in the garbage can?
Rocktan,
I
explain to
don't
us your
know.
logic.
That's a good question.
You
What else would he be doing?
meatloaf making motherfucker. Tell me why that midget was
Okay.
jacking off in the garbage can. What else
And
would he
who-
be doing? Is he whisking a bowl? Oh, that's clearly something he could be doing in a fucking garbage can.
Why is he jerking off in a garbage can?
It's a good point. Like, why is he in the garbage can if, like, especially considering, like, it gives him a good way to beat off without anyone seeing what he's doing.
Except he's blatantly doing it in public.
He's doing it in public and in front of the Dubs.
Are we gonna have to pull up? Am I gonna have to look this up now? All right, hold on.
What are
Does
you
it
looking
count as
up?
public indecency if you're caught jerking off in a trash can?
Mega Fighter, go to r/legal advice.
You know what? I'm gonna have to talk to them.
You're gonna have to talk to him about that.
It was in Tennessee, right?
Yeah. Public indecency.
I have to say I feel bad for this guy having to cut a promo in a trash can and then imply that he's fucking masturbating. What the fuck is this?
I just need to know.
This
what counts.
is TNA.
See,
So-
engaging in sexual intercourse, masturbation, sodomy, bestiality, or copulation, flagellation, or yeah, okay, so it is, I guess, it does count. It is in a public area.
So,
I'm gonna try and look up
Goldilocks,
the character.
clearly confused and slightly disgusted, goes further down the hallway. Where
I remember she actually says as she's walking down, she says, "Man, you know what? I'm done with this job. I've got like an
Yo, that's
I've
real
got
shit,
something
dog.
coming up in a couple weeks, and I'm just done with this
That's
job."
real
And I'm like,
shit.
I don't blame you.
That's real
Goldilocks.
shit right there. She's just telling it like it is. She watched that midget masturbating in the garbage can, and she thought, man, my job is shit. And that's why her job is shit.
In the state of
It's
Tennessee,
so real, bro.
indecent exposure is, as defined in subdivision B1, is a Class E felony when the defendant is 18 years of age or older.
Well, what's the penalty? Is it a fine?
I'm trying to figure that out right now. The penalty. Public disease punishment is, well, as follows: a first or second offense is a Class B misdemeanor, punishable by a fine of $500. Dude, legal documents are fucking hard to read.
Man, I'm surprised she didn't quit a lot sooner. Just given the fact that they gave her the name Goldilocks.
Okay, yeah, but while we're figuring out how badly Puppet is on the rap sheet.
No, Puppet. Oh no.
I'm Michael Jordan.
No.
McDonald's restaurants have given me this time to talk to you about something we both really care about. Kids. Kids are the reason
I don't
McDonald's sponsors
fuck them
that
kids.
industry.
Hold on. Hold on, I'll get you what you wanted. Puppet.
I'm Michael Jordan. Stop it. Get some help.
Michael Jordan wants you to get help. And also, you on the rap sheet. Very good. Okay, so yeah, she kind of heads off. She's like, if my music career takes off, I am out of here. Goes over to talk to the Dups.
The Dups are slumped against like the back of the wall on the floor, and like stand up.
Not even.
Or I think it's Bo Dup.
Bo Dup is making out with Fluff. Bo's making out with Fluff.
Bo Dup's like he's making out with his cousin, and stand
Ryan
up
helping the hell out of him.
is like tweaking in the
And
corner
lighting up a lighter.
and lighting up a lighter like he's going.
Yeah, he's clearly tweaked because he's like
he's gonna do some fucking tar, like tar heroin.
I think he's already tweaked because he's like going. He keeps going.
Stand up. What are you doing? Heroin.
Get out.
That's a reference to a story from Allie's old job.
Yeah, I caught a guy doing heroin in my bathroom, and I looked at him, and he was like heating up the spoon so he can inject it, and I just went, "What are you doing?" And he just replied, "Heroin," and I just told him to leave.
That was his first year on that job too.
First year on that job. Same year that someone shit on the floor, and some guy told me to put the pump in the big bitch.
So at one point,
really set the tone for your whole time there.
Actually goes to Goldilocks. Hey, you got pretty lips, and she says, "Oh, thanks." And then he's like, "Des, I don't mean those lips. I mean your other lips." And I'm going, is stand up implying that he can see Goldilocks' vag?
I'm so high on heroin I can see your pussy.
That's impossible given she's wearing pants.
Is he implying that he can not only see up her? Wait, she is wearing pants. You're right. I thought she was wearing a dress, but if she's not even wearing like a dress with where he can at least see her underwear or lack thereof, then that doesn't make sense.
Rocktan left. Fuck him.
Whatever. The Flying Elvises. He's not missing anything.
I'm not happy watching this. It really does feel like there's good wrestling in there somewhere, but I can't escape this Jerry Springer shit all the fucking time.
So can we just note that, like, not 5 feet away from the midget jerking off in the trash can, There's some fucking rednecks fucking their cousin and doing heroin on the job.
This is written like a guy who fucking hates Southerners.
You like
This is
you
what
can
you.
tell.
This is what you dumb fucking hicks like. You know, you stupid
Like-
inbred fuck. This is what you like.
This is what all you Southerners are like, bro.
This is what Southerners like, cause they're fucking dumb. They're fucking
their
stupid.
cousin
They
fucking
fuck their
addict.
cousin, and they hate the black guys and fucking
And the gay guys, and
the
they do
queers,
heroin,
and they do
bro.
heroin, bro. It's just, it's insulting.
It is terribly insulting. Roxanne has his meatloaf.
He's got his
His
meatloaf. He's got to let that shit cool down because I imagine he can't eat a meatloaf like right away.
I don't want to burn my mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah, fucking meatloaf. We're talking about how this whole show, like, we've been through it for about a month or a little bit more now.
Yeah.
This is the most condescending thing I've ever fucking seen. It is like a fuck you to
the
anyone
entire
who is
South.
below like the Mason-Dixon line.
Really. I'm genuinely stunned that they picked Vince Russo, the native New Yorker who hates Southern everything, to book their Southern promotion.
Yeah.
It just boggles me that there are fans, but I mean, I guess that's what these people seem to be somehow
Based on
entertained
how
by
many
it.
beer bottles I've seen in the crowd, I don't think these are so much fans as it is people who came in
Day
'cause the
drinkers.
booze was free.
Day-
These are day drinkers or people who bought tickets because the booze was free.
But just that there's even people that think like WWE is not as good as this show. I remember seeing a sign. Someone had the sign. WWE, we waste everyone's time.
It just makes me think of the concept of like, oh, the wrestling's worse now because the product isn't as edgy, and it's just like, this is garbage. This
This is exactly the type of shit that the attitude that the Attitude Era would occasionally do, but like you didn't. It was like this is the part of the Attitude Era that everyone kind of passes over and just talks
people
about
remember.
all the good edgy shit that
I will stand by the
Era
statement.
did, and not the shit that was embarrassing and
I will
stupid.
stand by the statement that people remember about 30% of the Attitude Era tops.
30%, yeah.
Just tops. That's all you fucking remember. There's probably a ton of this shit if you just watched like week by week like we are in like 1998 or some shit.
Right? I wish I could remember half the stuff. I have like several books on my Kindle of people watching Raw week to week. I wish I could remember anything from the Attitude Era books because it can get ridiculous.
Maybe we if Peacock can get its shit together, maybe we should go back and watch Attitude Era.
I would love to watch like the first year of Raw, but I can't trust Peacock not to remove all the problematic parts. And I feel like then you're just ruining like you're losing half the fun of going back
Yeah.
to see the mistakes.
I
feel like Allie and I have different philosophies on the fun of Wrassleboys, though. Because he's upset right now.
this. I don't want more of this. This sucks.
He's so mad.
This sucks.
Hey, Allie, don't feel bad. Don't get mad. There's a Flying Elvis's match next.
Why are the Elvises?
Because fuck you, the South, bro. This is what the Southerners, they like that Elvis. They like that Elvis. They like honky tonk man, right? So they're like free honky tonk men. Honky tonk man, bro.
Here comes a tag team match: the Flying Elvises versus Elix Skipper and Christopher Daniels.
Yeah, so there's, Sonny Siaki and
Siaki
Jorge
immediately tags out and grabs a headset that isn't working.
And he'll just occasionally cut away
And it takes
from the match to
time.
do
It
commentary.
takes him some time to get it set up. But there was this like weird fat guy sitting behind everyone.
With glasses and a headset of his own.
I was trying to figure out who that was. He had an NWA shirt. Was he staff?
He must have been staff or something.
He looked like he wanted to die. He just...
Yeah.
Yeah, Chad, like, starts running around with his shirt off in the crowd, and he starts, like, jumping in the back row, holding up his I'm Chad sign, and security tells him to knock it off, and you can watch him just, like, disappointedly sauntering back to his seat, flipping off the guy who told him, put your shirt on.
They should have taken this guy the fuck out of the ring.
Fuck Chad.
Fuck you, Chad.
Fuck you,
I'm
Chad.
surprised the security took
He was
that
pointing
long
the sign
to deal with
at
him.
the audience like they give a fuck.
It's like, hey guys, look, my name's Chad.
Like, we're watching the fucking Elix Skipper, Christopher Daniels, and the Flying Elvises wrestle. There's good shit happening.
I will say that guy is probably a good example of someone who does seem like he just bought a ticket just I don't know, maybe there was cheap beer.
Oh yeah, definitely. The beer was either cheap or
I was gonna
free.
say, is this like the 50-cent beer night of wrestling?
25-cent beer night.
25-cent beer
night at the National Auditorium.
Someone's gonna get hit with a baseball bat.
I have to say, I wonder where he was sitting to begin with, because they did not.
It was like in kind of the upper rightish corner for a while on the camera side, but then he started going to the middle.
When I've watched WWE events, I rarely ever see someone just walking up and down the steps randomly and then moving into someone. Yeah, and then proceeding to run across with a sign.
And fucking Chad actually showed up on the other side, and he tried to like flip his sign in front of the hard cam.
Oh my god!
Fucking
Mark.
Fuck Chad! I was trying to watch this
Chad.
Elvis match.
We were trying to watch this Flying Elvis's match with Elix Skipper and Christopher Daniels, and
which is a really good match.
Really good match. The whole time though, I'm thinking, Elix Skipper, I swear to God, you better not do a fucking overdrive.
Elix Skipper did really well. He did do an overdrive.
But it was slightly modified from the regular overdrive.
It was like a neck breaker overdrive, and I kind of like that.
Like, he just lifted his leg over the guy, and then he flipped the dude without flipping himself, and I was like, okay, that's not bad. That takes away the one problem I've ever had with the overdrive.
Landing on your knee.
Landing on your knee.
Yeah, he calls his overdrive the play of the day.
So, there's also this
Estrada,
really cool.
By the way, did a really cool springboard moonsault that I liked.
He also did he did 2 springboard moonsaults, and he fucked up one, but he sort of like changed it into like a rolling senton almost because he slipped. So I admire that. Elix Skipper did this cool spot where he like jumped off Christopher Daniels over like Estrada's head to do a head scissors to fucking Siaki.
That's where we were about to give him overrated, and that's when I said, you better not fucking do the overdrive, you piece
overrated.
Of shit. Or underrated, excuse me. We have no overrated award, and if we did, it would probably go to someone like Jarrett. Okay, that's not fair. Brian Lawler.
Siaki does some more commentary, but he comes back and wins with the spinning neck breaker. And here comes the Dups and the they got wood jokes, because they all have boards.
I forgot about this.
Stand-Ups got wood, and now Bo-Dups got wood, and now Fluff-Dups got wood. She has a penis.
So, is Stan still high on heroin?
And so they beat up the Elvises, and then they kind of do like the pioneer dance, if you know what that is, where they like hook arms and spin.
As the beatdown concludes, I see possibly the two best signs of the whole night. Brian Lawler fears flying Elvis' sign.
Nice.
And I think wins sign of the week. Future ex-champ Slick Johnson.
Oh yeah, that's not bad.
I kept joking that his name was Referee Wet Penis. I don't know why.
Because you're a child in heart.
So they celebrate by fucking kissing in the ring, and then it cuts to the Stwippers,
And suddenly there's a dwarf in one of the cages.
Tio from the first show.
The actually pretty good,
little man, little person wrestler.
He was actually he wasn't bad. Of the free midget matches we've seen, his in Hollywood's was the best.
Yeah, it was probably the best one.
Yeah.
So Kate Crush just gets interviewed in front of a garage by Goldilocks.
And Goldilocks, I think he yells at Goldilocks a bit, and then fucking Scott Hall attacks.
Yes.
So she's now
Scott Hall found his gear.
Scott Hall found his gear.
Which I want to point out that there's an umlaut on the O's for some reason, so I just kept thinking blood, scoot hole,
Wolfpack.
Anyway, out comes Meatball, who's this fat little person who's balding, and he's wearing a red singlet, and he's got a shopping cart, and it's full of Kroger. Someone didn't want to shop local or spend a lot of money, so they just hit their local Kroger.
Allie, I feel like you shouldn't joke. That's the fucking catering for the shows.
A single shopping cart full of Kroger.
Yes, that's all you get for catering.
But it had flour in it.
That's part of the catering.
And he is referred to as the world's largest midget, and he's 4'5", 250 pounds.
4'5", isn't that the exact limit?
So he celebrates with some cheese whiz for making his entrance.
He gets some cheese. He gets some cheese curls.
He grabbed some
Kroger brand.
He grabbed some Kroger brand cheese curls.
Completely dodged the Hostess cupcakes that were in that shopping cart.
Yeah,
in that bag.
Can I just say that being the world's largest midget with all that weight is not exactly something to be proud of? It's probably going to lead to a whole host of health problems for him.
So out comes Puppet.
I don't know. Cheeks is still alive, and he was even worse.
I wonder if we're going to see Cheeks again.
Out comes... Fun fact, by the way, there was a dark match on the first episode of TNA where Cheeks ran the ropes and broke the turnbuckle, and they panicked until one of the Harris brothers fixed it.
Huh.
Yep.
Because you shouldn't let Cheeks run the ropes because he's 500 fucking pounds.
Yes.
Jeez.
So, so the match starts off, I believe.
Puppet hits Meatball with a garbage can, and we immediately made jokes about him jacking off in that garbage can as well.
No.
I mentioned that that's not a garbage can, that's a garbage wound. Ed Ferrara goes into a very weird place when he says that after killing every midget, that Puppet's going to kill himself.
Actually, I think that sounded like Tanay to me that was talking
Ed
about
Ferrara
it.
has a similar voice, but I could tell it's him because I don't think Mike Tanay would say something like that.
Yeah, because he's saying, hey, Puppet wants to kill all midgets. After all, midget killer is, because midget killer's on his shirt. And then he asks, what's he going to do once he's done with that? What's he going to do with himself? Then he just proceeds to ask, "What's next? Suicide?" And then the other guy goes, I think I'm not sure which one of them goes, "Jump off a bridge."
Don West. Don West.
It's probably Don West. Yeah.
What the fuck?
So he really is just gonna go after Peter Dinklage and Gary Oldman on his knees.
I'm coming for you, Gary Oldman. I'm gonna kill you and then myself.
This was the most offensive thing on the show. Seriously, just casually talk about suicide. I mean, I get what they were trying to go for. They're trying to, make him out to be kind of his whole thing
He's
as
psychotic,
a killer. He's a
he's got a prison suit on.
Well, yeah. Well, just the idea that oh, I'm gonna kill every midget is a contradiction in terms if you're a midget, kind of thing.
So they fight. They brawl back up the. They brawl back up, and Puppet starts hitting him with or they start hitting each other with food.
Yeah, this is where the hardcore match gets silly. Pie in the face.
He threw a pie and an apple.
Sadly, we did not see the prerequisite hardcore oranges.
Yeah, and there's nothing more hardcore than oranges. Just ask Raven.
Just ask Raven. I think Bubba also used them in his hardcore title matches.
Hits him with a bag of flour and a watermelon. This match is shit.
They're both
Yeah,
wearing
this
tiny
match sucks.
Reeboks, by the way. They're not wearing full boots.
They
Reebok
clamber back
sneakers.
to the ring, and Ed Ferrara mentions that Puppet looks like Meatball's got about 6 asses on him, which was a very odd statement.
So I want to know that Meatball does a cartwheel at one point, which is probably the most athletic we're getting for this match.
Yeah,
There's a leg drop over the top rope onto a chair, but they kind of miss. And then there's a Vader bomb onto the chair instead. I don't remember who won. I think it was probably Puppet. I don't know.
It was Puppet. He did
Puppet
a top rope Vader bomb kind of thing, and we were calling him a coward because he didn't do a tiny moonsault.
So we cut back to the dancers, and Rob started making a joke about the Tio sexually assaulting one of them.
You said, I think he said Tio was going to get attacked by Puppet. Was Puppet and Meatball were leaving?
No, they're just leaving.
And then I said the girl's going to get attacked because Tio's still in the cage with one of the dancers. And fucking immediately, as soon as I say it, Tio starts to she kind of dances a little lower towards him, and he starts grabbing at her bra
and tries to rip her top off.
Yeah.
I think he does actually manage to grab her bra, but that's all he gets.
This is a show full of crime.
I hate this so much.
It's one public indecency. There's another some sort of sexual assault here,
or at least harassment,
or sexual harassment. I figure, harassment probably.
I would say harassment more than assault.
Yeah, fucking stand up is blatantly doing heroin, is now on camera doing it.
There's probably multiple degrees of there might be multiple degrees of
it also can depend from state to state.
I mean harassment. I mean,
yeah, it also depends from state to state, I think. But as we continue on, where we get Jasmine St. Clair versus Francine.
Jasmine is still wet from the shower.
She's still wet, and she starts yelling about Francine.
And this is where you go, oh, you know why? Now we know why they did this, because her nipples are freaking protruding from her shirt.
So, fun fact, I don't know which movie it is, but Jasmine St. Clair has been in a Len Kabaczynski movie.
Yeah, Len Kabaczynski.
I believe Jay Bauman referred to her as awkward boobs during a talk about Len Kabaczynski movies.
Awkward boobs.
Because there was a scene where she was in a shower blatantly with her top off, and she looked very awkward during it. But yeah, so she starts taking off her
legs, and they start ripping each other's clothes off.
Yeah, when she got finishing the promo, she starts taking off her shoes, you gotta go, and then Francine comes out already with her shoes off.
I just walk around with my shoes off in this random arena I don't live at.
Random arena where I already had shoes before. I don't know.
I hope I don't walk I hope I don't walk on any hypodermic needles. That'd be weird.
Or on the fucking the needle that fucking the needle that Stand Up shot up with.
Yeah.
Just a few minutes ago.
This is the type of thing that you might occasionally see as this the not very talented divas during the
they start ripping
during WWE or the women
showing their
or
titties.
the AC or during ECW when I'm
forgetting his name nudity.
Now. I'm forgetting his name now. The commentary guy,
JR.
No, for ECW.
Oh, Joey Styles.
Joey
Cat
Oh
Styles.
yeah, Joey Styles would go, cat fight!
The cats are fighting!
It is so trashy. They just start rolling around and just grabbing at each other, and it's
And then
terrible.
Blue Meanie comes out, and Blue Meanie is in great fucking shape.
Blue
Yeah!
Meanie looks fucking amazing for some reason. I don't know what he did. He looks
Like,
great.
I don't know what happened, dude. You fell off after a while there because you went back to like your usual shape. But goddamn, he looks great right now.
Yeah.
And he DDTs Francine, and that's the match.
You know what's
And,
really
like,
funny?
Their women's division.
They stretch her out, Francine, with a very similar setup to I watched NXT Stand and Deliver a couple of days ago, and like Adam Cole fucking died,
Yes.
and they were stretching Adam Cole out after he got like a knee to the back of his neck through a chair, and that's the same level of injury as getting DDT'd by the Blue Meanie.
I think this is also the only time we're gonna see the Blue Meanie in 2002 in TNA.
Probably, yeah.
My thoughts watching that were Francine is really not hurt from just a DDT. Bullshit. I hate when they do oh, she's a woman. She's weaker and can't take the same amount of punishment as a man if the man is the one doing it, even when said man is the same size as her. She's a wrestler. If
To
she
be fair,
can't do it, then she shouldn't be here.
to be fair, it's Brian or Blue Meanie is not the same size as Francine.
She can't take it. She shouldn't be here. Seriously.
Anyway, Goldilocks tries to interview Low-Key. And
Can I just
Low-Key's
note-
like putting tape on, and then he's like, I can't talk. And then he just walks off.
And that's it. And that's her last interview for the night. 0 for 6.
She doesn't know how to interview for shit.
Bad luck, or he's just terrible. I don't know. Either way.
I hope she actually takes up that music career and gets
I
out
hope
of
that
there.
music career takes off for her, because you ain't getting shit from DNA after that.
Now for my YouTube video, top 20 Low-Key moves.
Followed by top 20 AJ Styles moves.
Yeah, they showed their finishers.
Can I say I was surprised that Ed Ferrara didn't try to cop a feel on Jasmine while they were loading
In
her
hindsight,
into
the Key Crusher 99 doesn't look super safe.
Meanwhile, the Styles Clash is actually pretty safe as long as you don't tuck.
Don't
Yeah,
talk.
that's the
Don't-
one time that's the only time AJ ever enters someone is someone forgets to tuck their head in.
No,
Not
don't
tuck,
tuck.
not tuck.
You look
Or,
backwards.
sorry,
If you tuck, you will
Or
get
sorry,
fucked up.
you don't tuck. You have to keep your head sort of level.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, just keep your neck
Well-
extended.
Keep your neck extended. Yeah.
Do not tuck or you will fuck your neck.
Welcome to Kicks the Match. Low-Key versus AJ Styles.
Whose name is spelled wrong, by the way?
Loki.
LO-KI. Low key.
They mentioned Ring of Honor, which is really
Ring
interesting.
of Honor. That's cool. Always good that Mike
Yeah.
Tenay's bringing up like the other companies, like, you know, how they were in WCW or in Ring of Honor, WWE, all that sort of thing. A little touch of like reminding people that wrestling isn't in a bubble.
So this match is actually pretty good. We shit
This
on
match was
Low-Key
awesome.
for sort of, I don't know, just sort of being a guy who thinks he's a lot cooler than he actually is. He is the equivalent of like the anime profile you make when you're 14
Yes.
on like MySpace, and it's like playing fucking Linkin Park, and you got like
It's some real
you got like
it's a real-
Itachi, you got like Itachi on your fucking profile.
choking Sasuke.
Choking Sasuke. And it's just like, fucking, don't mess with me.
And maybe you Photoshop it slightly so Itachi says me, and like Sasuke is like Greg from gym class.
I can be your angle or your devil. But he's still decent as a wrestler. he sets up for the key crusher, but he wanted to like throw AJ into the corner first, and then AJ counters it into probably the fastest DDT I've ever seen.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, that fucking
Also, there
DDT
was a spot where he did the fastest scoop power slam I've ever seen, and then followed it up with a really nasty looking brain buster.
This is just a really good match. That fucking
finish-
DDT transition was so
the
smooth.
finish is like a Phoenix Splash attempt by Low Key, and AJ just catches him and gives him a Styles Clash.
Yes.
It's fucking awesome.
AJ Styles, god damn it, stop being so good.
He's like literally a rookie, and he's super good.
He's super good. He once again, fucking takes MVP, I think.
AJ Styles wins, and then Jerry Lynn spears him and gives him a pile driver.
And then like starts taking out the ladder. And I feel like the ladder would have been a good hype up for a future ladder match if we didn't already have a ladder match on this show.
You know, there is one way that Jerry Lynn can avoid wrestling with AJ as a tag partner that I didn't think of for the last show. That he could just not show up for the tag match, but then
And leave
there's
AJ
always
on
a
his
problem
own.
when it comes to that. Where I know wrestling has its own logic, but it's like, oh, you can just not show up to work essentially.
Just call in. Yeah,
I mean,
I
it's
can't
clear
make
they
it.
don't-
Or
it's
like,
clear
or
they
like
don't
your
discipline anyone.
or not necessarily. He's not. It's not like he's not showing up in that case, but
Well, I mean, you could do this really easy angle of like,
the titles, and he's like, oh, I'm just not going out there. You can't make me.
I would have an angle where like it looks like he no-shows the match, and they wonder like, did he not even show up to work? And then like Goldilocks finds him in the back later, and he's just like, fuck off, don't talk to me. And it's like, why did he not show up for AJ Styles?
I mean, clearly you can just not show up. They don't discipline you at the TNA offices. They
They just asked for a phone call.
stand up. Just blatantly did heroin in the back.
No wonder why
And
Scott Hall wants to work there.
I saw a creative. At first, it looked like a generic sign, but then I was like, oh, that's kind of a creative way to do it. It was Styles wins again with the letters TNA highlighted in yellow. I thought that was a cool little touch.
So, here's a weird thing. They didn't advertise a main event for this episode. But there was one. Out comes main eventer Brian Lawler.
Yeah.
Brian Lawler coming out here to
He's-
shoot.
He's gonna shoot with some hot Jerry Lawler burns and factoids.
He's still, I hate my dad.
He's still in very I hate my dad mode.
He
and
was
I
married
like,
3
tell you-
times.
yes. And didn't he say that also? Like
His wives were all younger than me.
One of the first things it said is, I don't want to be referred to as Jerry's kid anymore. And one of the first things that was in the audience was a guy with a sign, Jerry's kid.
a very lazy sign, if I
Why
recall.
not change your name to
Yeah.
Brian Christopher then?
But he was Brian Christopher, so why not anything?
Number
But
2,
Brian Lawler.
and this is a shoot, dude.
Wait, that's pretty much the tell right there that this is not a shoot
He
anymore.
gave Lawler a ticket to come down and watch his son in TNA, and he didn't come.
I also saw that
He creeps on girls at high school.
Yeah.
And here's fact number 3. Scott Hall has an entrance theme.
I genuinely thought we were gonna go really weird with this, but apparently Brian Lawler, in comparison to Doug Gilbert, is a total coward.
Yeah, I also saw the sign Jerry Lawler isn't too cool with the 2 in the Roman letters and then the word cool inside the 2.
Wrassleboys, the cool is inside the 2.
Cool inside the 2. So for those who don't know what I'm talking about, Doug Gilbert on a USWA show, I think
Actually, Doug Gilbert was on his father's talk show.
But I think he also said it on a USW. I don't know, but he blatantly said Jerry Lawler, you raped a 13-year-old girl. It's like, whoa.
Damn.
I think he said it on like USWA television, but I could
So-
be wrong.
The stupidest thing happens where, like, Scott Hall shows up after Brian Lawler turns his entrance music off, and then there's, like, a really, really long gag where Scott Hall's just standing behind him.
Yeah,
And he
he's
doesn't
stood
turn
behind him
around.
It's like, yeah, he's just waiting for super long for him to turn on. Why doesn't he like tap him on the shoulder or just hit him? Like,
No, he just kept yelling at the crowd, and Scott Hall was standing there behind him and just listening to him just talk about, oh yeah, you guys like Scott Hall back when he was Razor or whatever, and he's here because he's a drinker and he likes getting drunk and it's last call, and Scott Hall's not here. Why are you pointing at me to turn around? I'm not going to.
Yeah,
Scott Hall.
This is fucking him not turning around and seeing Scott Hall behind him goes on for too long.
It goes on for nearly 3 minutes.
For nearly 3 minutes of Scott Hall just standing behind Brian and hiding away from him while Scott's yelling at the crowd, and it's like,
And they're
Jesus Christ, turn around.
turn around.
you would think he would have maybe like some kind of sense that he was there.
The crowd was literally doing like turning around gestures. Like, I don't understand
I don't know
why
there
that
wasn't a
took so
turnaround.
fucking long. And then Scott Hall punches him, and you can hear Brian Christopher go, "Fuck you."
Oh my god, yes, when the bell rings and it's just like, fuck you. It's like, oh my, did he just shout fuck you?
Then they fight onto the ramp, and the ramp is surprisingly chintzy.
Oh, I forgot to mention that Brian came in with this awful gray jacket with the word, what looked like the word Zozo all over the place randomly on it.
Like Led Zeppelin, or
I imagine.
And it wasn't Led Zeppelin, just Zozo. I don't know what it was.
Zozo is a Led Zeppelin thing.
no, Led Zeppelin made their own unique logos, and one was the phrase Zozo.
Yeah, this didn't look like the Led Zeppelin Zozo. This is just like the Zozo for no apparent reason all over it.
I don't remember anything about this match besides the fact that it sucked.
There was a sign that says Todd Frasher loves men.
Yeah, what did Todd Frasher do?
Scott Hall gets beaten back by Brian Lawler eventually, and then he just grabs a microphone and starts yelling. And then and then K Crush runs in and gets punched once and rolls back out.
Oh yeah. Yeah, this was the match where I think I really realized that at least here, maybe he might have been better in the past when he was Razor, but Scott Hall's offense consists mostly of punching, the occasional fall away slam, and the Razor's Edge. That's all he does.
Scott Hall gets punched in the balls a bunch of times, and then K Crush comes back in, and they give him a wedgie. They just give Scott Hall a wedgie.
Yeah, he takes the belt with the rings or whatever on, and they go underneath his sack to jam it up there, I guess.
Then they hang him over the rope again, and Scott Hall like spits on the camera while he's selling. And then, like, he gets hurt, so the paramedics come out in the most obvious, we couldn't afford real paramedics outfits that you could possibly imagine, of, like, a beige polo shirt and cargo pants.
Man, and they mentioned that this is the second week in a row for Scott, at least the second week in a row where Scott Hall has gone out on a stretcher and is like...
And then, oh wait, that's not a paramedic, that's Jeff Jarrett, oh my god! And he just hits everyone with a chair.
Yeah. And I think Don Harris shows up during this, or one of the Harris.
This is Jeff Jarrett's thing to just... It kind of reminds me of like Chavo Guerrero and Lucha Underground just hitting people with chairs because he can.
And yeah, he just hits a bunch of people with chairs, and then we're out of time.
So of course Rob watches the pay-per-view with us on the show with a Harris brother on it.
I still don't get that joke, but okay.
I love that I'm getting more mileage out of it, despite the fact that
It
it was
doesn't
a
make
stupid
sense
joke
to
for
me.
one wrestle. It was a joke of one wrestle booking because he requested that wrestle booking, or he requested I book that, and I put in a joke of insulting him by saying he's obsessed with the Harris twins. And
That's
yet
a joke that's
somehow,
only funny to you.
yes, and I'm getting mileage out of it.
No one else thinks this is funny.
It doesn't matter.
I don't even understand it because were the Harris twins even on this show?
Yeah, there was a Harris twin who was helping to he was helping to escort Scott Hall out.
Oh, okay.
We talked about the balls wedgie, right?
Yes.
Yes, we did.
Okay, good. I just want to be sure we talked about the balls wedgie. But yeah, so Scott Hall or Jeff Jarrett just beats down everybody with a chair to get his revenge. Apparently, they couldn't tell Ken Shamrock to get out of the park to get rid of this guy.
Get out the park.
Yeah, I remember how they showed the logo as he was being stretched out, and then they keep going as when Derek comes out as the with the disguised as a disguised medic to beat everyone.
I hated this.
Yeah, I can tell.
Allie is upset.
I hated this, man. This was bad. I just wanted to provide weekly content, and WWE fucked on me, and now I'm here. I don't have a.
WWE fucked on me.
I lost everything. I got fired.
You got COVID.
I got COVID. Nobody respects me. My book's never coming out. I'm watching TNA.
Hey, now we can work on the next chapter of your book after this to make
Allie
you feel
feels
better.
like picking up a chair and hitting everyone in sight.
Yeah.
He's probably gonna fire you after this show's over.
Why do you keep coming back, you meatloaf making motherfucker?
Because I asked you to let me on the show, and you've never said no.
I never say no to anything.
He warned you not to watch the show. We told you about. We tried to tell you. We told you about TNA, bro. We warned you, dog.
I warned you about stairs.
We warned you about stairs.
I don't know. This show was definitely weird, but at the same time, weirdly found it entertaining in some ways.
Well, that's because I hate you.
I was weirdly amused by just how insane this was. So let's get on.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. It's just like, this is so insane. It's kind of amusing.
Awards.
So MVP is AJ Styles again.
Yes, I would agree with that.
I don't feel like I'm gonna get any objections on that.
Yeah, that was my MVP as well.
Allie,
why is he here?
Why is he here? WWE.
Good question.
Why isn't he anywhere else?
He could be in WWE right now. I don't know why they're missing out on this guy.
Is it spite?
Weren't they saying that
it probably would have cost pennies to buy out AJ Styles' fucking contract
and put him on like
just put him on fucking Heat? I don't know, OVW.
Weren't they saying that AJ and Loki would be wrestling on ROH as well, or did I mishear that?
He did say that. He did say that. They did say that on commentary. But my point is, why hasn't WWE hired this guy already? Why did it take them like 15 years to hire? 15 years!
15!
To hire AJ Styles. Underrated.
Underrated.
My underrated is Sabu.
I'm leaning towards Elix Skipper.
Fuck.
Allie, the deciding vote on this. Who is the underrated for this week?
Puppet.
No, you can't. I don't allow this.
No, if you do that, I think you've officially lost your goddamn mind. But you kind of sound like you have.
I said underrated, Allie, not Y segment.
Fine, Elix Skipper.
All right, Elix Skipper wins
overdriving
underrated
motherfucker. Yeah. I was
Well,
going to
he
go with
lynched-
R-Truth, but he lynched a guy.
He lynched 2 dudes.
I think we know what the Y segment is. It's
Why am I here?
it's the puppet and the dup segment easily. That
Well,
wins.
You know what? Yeah, both kind of are in the same place. So
They pretty much follow each other, so it's all one long thing.
Pubbed up.
Oh, I forgot.
Pupped
I
up.
forgot to mention all that. Like when when Jasmine came in the ring, Boris was coming in with her, and as soon as Jasmine been over, he bugged out.
Yeah,
So-
Borash was like, "Hurrah."
So let's just take a moment to note this. Alicia did not show up once during this show to shake anyone down for money.
Nope.
She should have at least. I feel like with the luck that Goldilocks had, she should have shaken down Goldilocks for an interview, or like just been like, Goldilocks,
Okay.
can I ask you to hey,
I'll pay for an
Hand it
interview.
hand it over? No, like she's like, hey, hand it over. Hold on. Just reaches into her purse and hands some money to Alicia.
You know,
All right.
for as insane as this show was, it could have been worse. It could have included the Johnsons and the Rainbow Express.
Man, the fact that it's sad when the Rainbow Express wasn't on this show is a marked improvement for it, but not by much.
Yeah.
I feel like Silent League we can go with future ex champs of Slick Johnson. That's fine.
Yeah.
I thought that was a really creative song.
I feel like anything else we gotta say, or
No, I think that's it.
Jesus Christ, Ellie. All right, let's do the plug.
We're on
you can
Spotify.
We are on
iTunes,
Spotify. We're on
Google
iTunes. We're
Podcasts,
on Anchor, YouTube.
At WordPress.com.
It's www.wrassleboyspod.wordpress.com. You can follow us
Also,
on
any
Twitter
typical
at
place you can find a
Wrassleboys.
podcast. Twitter at Wrassleboys. WRA.
You can
SSLE.
if you go to the site, you can
Boys.
find not just our episodes, but also our editorials, including Wrassle Booking,
Yeah.
which I'm working on my next one for the first season of NXT. So look out for that.
That was
I
my
think
idea.
I think Ellie has
That was
taken.
Ali's request, so I'm going to do it so he feels better about life.
I think Ellie has officially taken the pill. Fuck it all.
Ali is just gonna fucking flop into his bed and smother himself with his own pillow.
Oh God, no!
I wish.
All right, so
I can't sit on my own pillow.
On that horribly morbid final note, as we always say on Wrassleboys, fuck Chad.
Fuck you.
Fuck Chad.
Fuck Chad.
Fucking Chad, I hate him.